On more than one occasion, when you've said you wouldn't do it, but you've done it, you've cheated on your diet. And it annoys you because you said you wouldn't cheat on the diet and you kept doing it. And it annoys you that you haven't got the ability to stick to something over the long term. Well, there's three reasons why you cheat on your diet, and I'm going to give you ultimately what the issue is and then how we can solve it, because I've achieved 80 transformations. I know what it takes to get men all the way to a six pack, and I know why people succumb to their vices and ultimately don't follow the plan, don't eat the food that they should. So, the first reason, honestly, is because you're bored. You are sat at home right now by yourself, and your brain is going to start to creep in and it's going to go, ooh, well, I wouldn't mind some food because I'm in a calorie deficit and I'm starving and like I've not eaten well for a long period of time. So, some food would be nice, because you just sat there with your own thoughts. We fine well know the devil's playground is when your brain is idle. It really, really is. And most of that's your issue. Most of you are sat around on a weekend by yourself, not doing anything productive. You're not doing anything productive, or you're not doing anything with intent. And because of that reason, your brain will come up with stupid things that it should do. We only do bad habits when we're sat alone by ourselves most of the time in the later part of the day. Yeah, if I was to tell you, like, no one ever cheated on their diet first thing in the morning. No one ever woke up and went, yep, today I'm going to cheat on my diet. No one ever did that. It always happens later on in the day and you're going off your thoughts and feelings. So let's be a little bit smart about this. Let's notice the pattern and understand, I always seem to cheat on my diet around this time when I'm doing said act. So what could we do instead in this place? Well, I know we could not be sat around doing nothing during these hours of mental weakness. We should just be out walking. We should be out doing something fun. The issue is not the food. The issue is not your ability to stick to the diet plan. The issue isn't even your own ability to showcase discipline. Your issue is that you're like leaving yourself open. The issue is you don't live a life that's actually fun and fulfilling. You live a boring, sad life where you sit inside, and of course, you're going to fail when that happens, because you're literally it's like sitting a heroin addict next to some heroin and him not being able to leave. Over time, eventually, he's just going to end up doing the thing. Just like you're hungry, you want more calories, so of course you're going to have the urge, at least the thoughts, to go and eat more food. And if that food's in there, you're going to go and eat it, because you let your brain sit idle. There's a man that's trying to achieve goals, which first and foremost, well done, because you are trying to achieve six-pack abs. You should also have other areas and goals in your life. You should never be sat around inside. That is honestly the modern day curse. It came in through COVID, and then we made it the norm. That needs to be broken. I will bang the drum on this as much as I need to on this channel. You need to be outside as much as possible, around other human beings, around your friends, making friends, creating memories, doing fun stuff. I can't stress enough how important this is. And I really noticed this after the last 2 weeks or so. We ran a Gorilla Platoon meetup where guys flew into Mexico. Then we went and summited a live volcano in Guatemala. And then we came back to Mexico and went through the jungle in Tulum. And it was fun. And it's almost like a lad's holiday. That's what we do inside our Gorilla Platoon community. But it made me realize the importance of friendship, adventure, just getting out and about and just being busy. No time for vices, no time for doing stupid stuff which isn't going to strive you forward. The reason you do stupid stuff is because you're sat by yourself. That is literally one of the biggest reasons for this. The reason you're fat is because you spend too much time by yourself. Because think about it, you can spend the weekend with me and our community. Guess what? You're not going to be fat for long after, because you're going to see what all the other guys are looking like. You're going to want to be like them because you want to continue being in our gang, because we go and do fun stuff. You get good positive emotions from being around us. So you're not going to be going back sitting by yourself being fat. You're going to be going back with an absolute kick up the arse to really get yourself in good order and get yourself in good shape, because you want to be with inside the tribe, because we're giving you those positive emotions. The reason you can't stick to your diet is because it's the same way. If you go without women for too long, you'll just watch porn. That's just a reality of it, because you're trying to suppress something that is an inherent human desire. We are literally put on this earth as the first biological mission is to reproduce as males. That is our first biological reason. So if you don't go around and be with women, you will watch porn. It's just a reality, because you will find sex in some way. The brain will just keep searching for it. And you're not a bad person because of this. You're a human being. Likewise, if you're in a calorie deficit, you were put on this earth to not be in a calorie deficit. But a lot of you need it because you've abused your body and got to 30% body fat, which you also weren't put on this earth to be either. So it's the lesser of two evils at the minute. So if you are sat by yourself, the body's going to want to find ways to consume calories. You're obviously trying to fight that. But the reason why both of these things happen is because you're not fixing the root cause. The root cause is that you're bored and lonely. What you need to do is get out and to be being around like-minded people. Like, if you know you're weaker at times like 7 p.m. in the evening, make that the time you go for your steps with your mates. They don't even have to be massively into fitness. You're only going for a walk. You're only going to like chat some conversation to them. Like, put the time in place so that you're not bored. Because that's the main reason why you're not adhering to diet. The next reason is you can't say no to people. So let's say you've got a partner and she could care less whether you get in six-pack abs. In fact, she kind of doesn't want you to because it makes her look bad. Or you've got friends around you that also could care less if you get six-pack abs because also it makes them look bad. So I'm not telling you to leave your friends because that'll ultimately counteract why you'd be more bored. Although I will tell you two things. Number one, find people like you. So where are you going to find them? Well, you're going to find them at the things that you do. So if you're into fitness, you're going to find them in the gym. If you're into running, you're going to find them at running clubs. If you're into hiking, you're going to somehow find them in the middle of the mountains. But you get my point. Do things you like. You'll just naturally bump into people like you. You'll get on with people like them because they're like you, and it'll just flow nice and easy. So you're going to start to do that. But for now, the people that you are around in your life, you need to have... You know, you've heard the saying, you need to get your shit in a sock, which is you need to get everything in good order. Well, you need to get all the people in your life inside a sock. And what that means is you're okay with saying no to them on certain things. They ask you to do something, you're okay with saying, yeah, but I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to eat, and I'm going to generally stand by that no matter how much you press my buttons to try and get me to crumble. The reason you can't stick to your diet is because you just don't have enough self-respect to say no to someone else. Think about it. If a homeless person said, here, take some heroin, you'd be like, no. Because you don't respect the person and you respect yourself enough not to do that exact act. But now let's say someone you kind of got on with for a long period of time says, come on, let's go and consume this highly dense calorie meal. Now it's kind of like, well, I kind of respect this person and the thing's not as bad as heroin, so I'm kind of more inclined to do it. But you need to have the same approach. It's the same way, like, you have to treat everyone, well, the saying someone once told me was, you need to treat all women the same. Like, no matter how beautiful or like non-beautiful they are, you need to treat them all the same. Otherwise, you'll fuck it up with the one that you actually like. It's the same approach needs to come for all human beings in your life. The answer still needs to be the same, no matter what the repercussions are and the emotional repercussions of that from that person. So, like, the reason you can't stick to a diet is because you just don't have the self-respect to say no to the people around you that want you to cheat on your diet. If you did, you wouldn't cheat. So what I really am telling you to do is, I'm not saying don't cheat on your diet. I'm saying get some self-respect. I'm saying respect yourself enough that you say no to those people. So when the challenge comes, you've already got the answers there for them. And then the last thing I'll say is, and the two kind of go hand in hand with this last point, you haven't actually planned the day. If you're thinking about cheating on your diet, you don't think about, and again, it goes back to the first point, not being bored. You don't think about cheating on your diet when you're in a scheduled task that you're going to do. If you're sat down to work, you're not thinking about cheating on your diet. If you're sat down to go and do steps or cardio, you're definitely not thinking about cheating on your diet. So the reason why you're not, like, why you do cheat is because you've got idle time that you've not planned for. You're not living life with intent. You're like a feather in the wind, and of course you're going to end up anywhere, and of course that's going to end up being in the fridge. Because that's just what you're missing in life right now. So, like, if you don't live with intent, plus leaving open idle space, you're just going to gravitate to what your body naturally wants and needs, which in this instance, it thinks it needs calories. Ultimately, as we've discussed, if you're above 15% body fat, you don't need calories. You need to lose those body fat first and foremost. You've got the calories, you've got the stores on you. So live life with intent. Map out how you should live a 24-hour period. I actually made a video on this, so you can literally go and watch it and copy it and live exactly like the athlete should in order to get six-pack. Go watch that video after this one, so you don't live a life where there's room for bullshit. And that's it. And do you know what? It's more just you waking up and being grown up about this. It's more and having self-respect, similar to the second point. It's just you having a bit of self-respect and going, you know what? I'm actually being a bit of a bitch here. I'm not living life with intent. I'm letting life happen for me. And we've heard the saying a million times. Like life, if you don't grab it by both hands, it will deal you whatever spits it out at the other end, and it's never going to be exactly what you want. So like, if you actually want something, go and get after it. Go and live a life of intent. Go and live a life of like you being in charge. You're a man at the end of the day. If you're watching this, you should be going and like structuring your day how you want to live relative to your goals that you've set because you wanted to set them. Like, I think people in the modern day think they're pinned into this like way of living in the way they should live. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, no one's really that in charge of you. Like, yeah, sure, that there's people above you that are going to give you a set of rules, but like, you can leave. You can go to a different place, and you go, oh, but I need to do this job, and it's like, but you could do something else. Like, if I had a gun to you and said that job's no longer there, if you do it, I'm going to shoot you. You'd find another way to survive and eat and make money. So like, you never really. Like, nothing's ever actually permanent, and you never really have to only do one thing. For as long as you decide to take things into your own hands. But most of you don't want to take things into your own hands. You want to be told what to do. You want to be told how to think. And when you don't do that, because ultimately, if you don't let other people do that, you'll be left with your own thoughts, and you don't like what that looks and feels like. When realistically, work through that first, and I guarantee you'll never cheat on your diet. Live a life with intent. Live a life how you want to go. Drive it to where you want your life to go. And I guarantee life will end up very, very beautiful for you, and you'll not have the struggle of trying to stick to something as basic as a meal plan. So hopefully this gave you an insight and like opened your horizon on this. Like, I don't ever say this to put people down. I say this to give you hope and to give you a new perspective. And just from the fact that I've been able to get many men a six-pack, so I know what works and I know what needs to be said, and I'll just come on here and say it. And if you found it value, you'll subscribe. If you want me to actually like work personally with you one-to-one, then you'll come and join us via the link in the description. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.